Hi friends, welcome back. Today I am finally getting to do the video I have been trying to do for a couple weeks now. If you've seen in my last video, I had recorded this video, but all of the footage ended up getting deleted, so I'm very happy to be back and to be recording this video now. So this is going to be a tour of all of the plants that I have. So as we go along, I am going to be counting all of the plants that I have so that at the end of the video, I can tell you guys the exact number that I have. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, so I thought that we would start over here. I have my curtains closed because I've noticed that when I try to show the plants up here while the windows are open, the lighting's a little weird, so I wanted to close them for this video, but normally I do keep them open during the day so that my plants can soak up all the sunlight. So we will start with this big guy right here. This is my friend Christine's plant. It's doing pretty well in my care. It's lost a couple of its older leaves, but it has put out this new leaf, and it is currently working on this leaf right here. This is a tree philodendron. Down here in this little humidity dome thing I have is my narrow form Monstera adansonii. It's doing really well in here. I was a little worried about it for a bit because I noticed some yellowing leaves, but it has since then put out this really big leaf that is really pretty. It has a lot of fenestrations in it, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then in here is just the cuttings I took of my string of hearts that seem to be doing pretty well. They have some new growth. I'm not noticing any signs of rot, so that's good. Right here is my rabbit's foot fern, that if you notice all the leaves going to one side, it's because I had it facing around this way and they were all going towards the window, so I decided to switch it around so that hopefully they would move up a little bit and look a little more even. Down here I have two of the aloe plants that I took from that big plant that you guys saw in one of my last videos. They're both doing really well. I was mostly worried about this guy because he is so big. I was afraid he was going to have a hard time getting established, but he seems to be doing just fine. Same with these two down here. They're both doing really well. This is a little ZZ plant that was given to me by Christine. Recently cut it back quite a bit because I noticed it wasn't growing much, so I'm hoping this will encourage some new growth. Over here is Christine's Hoya Carnosa Compacta. It's doing pretty well here. This is my Alocasia poly that I have recently moved out of the terrarium because it's got this new leaf and it seems to be adjusting pretty well. This is some type of philodendron that I got from the farmer's market. This is one of Christine's succulents that I just noticed earlier. Has some really cute new growth on it, so that's exciting. She'll be happy to see that. Back here is just a cactus that has recently bloomed for me. If you've seen post on my Instagram, I posted a picture of this plant and the beautiful flower that it gave me. It's the second time it's bloomed for me this season, so I'm hoping I can get it to keep going. Then just down here is a little succulent and a cactus. Over here I have two larger cactuses. This one is not doing the greatest. It's having a hard time standing up on its own, but it is still growing, so that's a good sign. And then this one hasn't grown much for me, but it hasn't looked like it's not doing well, so I'm going to take that as a good sign. And then my big Monstera adansonii, I was a little worried about it for a bit because it wasn't putting out any growth, but then I started giving it some more water, and just a couple weeks ago this beautiful leaf came out, which I think is just absolutely gorgeous. It has a total of 10 fenestrations, which is the most that any of the leaves have on this plant, so that makes me really happy. And then it also has this one right here that's unfurling. It has another one right here that I'm hoping, it looks like it's going to be a pretty big leaf, so that's exciting. And then it also has this little one right here. Down here, I will show you guys the plants that are in my terrarium. So I have my little peperomia that's doing well. I have the cuttings of my Sansevieria. That is what is left of the Hoya Carnosa that Joyce got me, that I'm very sad about because it got root rot pretty much as soon as I brought it home. So I'm hoping that I can rehab it. I'm just trying to. So I just took this out. I heard, or I seen a video of someone just taking a cutting of one of these and putting it in soil and it growing roots. So I thought maybe I would try that, but it's clearly very yellow and not looking well. But I still have, I'll show you. In here I still have the node that it grew out of, but I'm hoping that I can still grow another leaf from this one. Right here is my Philodendron Golden Goddess that's putting out a new leaf. This is the little bear paw succulent cutting I took from Christine's plant. It's doing really well. It has one yellowing leaf at the base, but I think that's pretty normal. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It also even has a little bit of new growth at the top. This is the little nub that I took the cuttings from of my Sansevieria. You've probably heard me talk about this one before. There's another little guy growing there, so I'm going to keep him going. And I will have a full video on this plant on my journey of trying to rehab it, so stay tuned for that. It will probably be a little while until I make that video because I'll want the cuttings to get established first and make sure that they're doing well. And then the rest of these that are in here are little cactus seedlings that I'm growing. I wanted to show you guys this one in particular because they're doing really well. I've never grown cactus seedlings before, so I'm pretty new to it, and I'm really glad that they're actually doing well and starting to establish themselves. I'll keep you guys updated on how these are doing as well. Okay, up here, I'm hoping the lighting is a little bit better. This is my miniature jade plant that you all know is one of my favorite plants in my collection. It recently hasn't been doing the greatest. I found some type of mites on it, which I'm going to talk about in another video. But I have treated it and now it is just recovering. But I haven't noticed any more mites on it in a couple weeks, so I think it's okay to be back with my other plants. All these little succulents normally go on my windowsill, but because I was closing the curtains for this video, I wanted to move them where you guys could see them. These three back here belong to Christine, and then these little guys belong to me. This is my Philodendron Silver Sword that was a wish list plant for a long time. It's growing really quick, but the last leaf that it put out ended up getting caught and broke off. So I'm wondering if maybe it's a humidity thing. So I might end up moving this guy closer to my humidifier. I'm just going to wait and see what the next leaf looks like that comes out. Because the leaf before that too was a little damaged, which might have just been from shipping. But I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I turned the flash on, so hopefully that'll help the lighting a little bit. This is my heartleaf philodendron that I love very much. It grows super quick and it's very hardy. This is some of the newer leaves. I thought about getting another one of these just because I really like them, but I think I'm just going to stick with this guy for now and try to grow him super big. This is some kind of variegated alocasia. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I knew at one point, but I've kind of forgotten since then. This is its most recent leaf, and it's doing pretty well too. If you notice the shiny spots on it, it's because I'm still treating all my plants with neem oil just to be safe. But I think soon I'm going to wash it off of the leaves because I don't want the leaves to burn from the oil being on it and it being so close to the window. This is my African violet that I recently moved from the shelf above my bed to the window here so that it can get more light, because I'm hoping that I can get it to flower. In this little jar right here is a cutting of one of my succulents that has just been growing in sphagnum moss for a few months now, and I keep it sealed pretty well. And it's doing really well. It's almost to the top of the jar, so I'm just gonna leave it in here for a little bit. Okay, right back here is my string of pearls that is growing really quick recently. I think it really likes the spot with the amount of light it gets. I really want it to flower this summer, but I just don't know if I have the right conditions for that. So I am still just very happy that it is growing so well for me. And then of course right beside it is my beautiful string of hearts that I love very much. I did want to point out to you guys these flowers on it. I kept mistaking these for just flower buds and then thinking that they were just drying out before they bloomed, but I looked up pictures and these are actually the flowers themselves, and there are quite a few on here right now, so I think that's a sign that I'm doing something right. This plant back here is my cactus. I don't know exactly what kind of cactus it is, but it is growing really quick for me. So I'm pretty happy about that. I've noticed with this one, it does need watered a bit more often than most cactus do. So I've just had to adjust to that a little bit, but I think I've got it down now. And so I'm excited to see this plant take off. Back here, I have a little euphorbia that has some new growth. If you can see it right there. Beside it, I have the prickly pear cactus that I got when Wade and I went to Texas. This is my Asparagus Fern. This is the newest leaf it's put out, but I had it sitting by my bed and Wallace chewed on the leaf right here, so I've since moved it up to the shelf, and I'm hoping that the next leaf that comes out will be just as big and healthy so that I can enjoy it being not chewed on. This is some kind of philodendron that I got from the farmer's market as well, I believe. It's doing pretty well. This is its newest leaf. It is a bit of a slow grower. I think it's having a little bit of a difficult time establishing itself. But I really like these red backs of the leaves, and it is still growing, so that's a good sign. And then right beside it, I'll get it down so I can show you a little better. This is my Hoya Carnosa that I absolutely adore. It's the first Hoya that I've been able to successfully keep alive and get new growth out of. So if you notice this very long runner it's putting out. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but these runners are where the new leaves will grow out of. So I'll show you right here. These are new leaves that are getting ready to come out. I'll start with this Alocasia dragon scale that I recently got from the farmer's market. All the plants that I am mentioning I get from the farmer's market come from a group called the Crazy Plant Ladies. If you're in the Vincennes area, then I definitely recommend you check them out. So I got this plant from them, and it's doing really well. I think, and I'm just now noticing this, but it looks like there is a new leaf coming in. I keep it right by my humidifier that's normally on, so I think it's really enjoying that. This red Calathea I recently got as a cutting from my mom's friend Kinsey, so thank you to her for that. It's doing okay so far. I'm not the best with Calathea, so I'm really hoping that this one will be able to establish itself well. I potted it into soil just a few days ago, and I'm keeping it also right by my humidifier so that it can soak up all that humidity, which Calathea really like. And then back here, this is a cutting of a variegated Hoya Carnosa compacta that I have rooting up in some sphagnum moss, and I just keep it in this little dome that kind of looks like a mushroom that I think is really cute. Up here is a lemon lime Calathea that was a wish list plant of mine for a very long time, and I finally got it also from the Crazy Plant Lady group. So it seems to be doing pretty well. Some of the leaves are curling up, but I think that it's just taking a little bit to adjust to my environment, and I'm hoping that it will start doing well here soon. This is a bit of a sad looking cutting of a Hoya Carnosa compacta that my friend Janelle gave me. I need to be doing a better job of keeping this watered. I may even just move it into my terrarium so that it has a bit higher humidity and I won't have to water it so much. And back here is a cutting of a non-variegated string of hearts that is putting out some new growth. Up here I have another type of Asparagus Fern. This is its newest leaf. It's doing pretty well in this spot. This is my Philodendron Flammaniae that you guys know is also one of my favorite plants. I recently moved it out of the terrarium and it seems to be adjusting pretty well. I think we do have a new leaf coming in right here. And this is a Scindapsus. Moving up here, this is my Alocasia poly that's always doing pretty well. I don't think we have any new leaves at the moment, but normally it is pushing out a new leaf pretty regularly. This is a little, I don't know if it's a type of aloe or if it's just another type of succulent, but it's doing pretty well here. This is some type of Syngonium that I had farther down on the shelf, but as you can see, Wallace was chewing on it, so I moved it up here where he can't get it. And then way up top is my ponytail fern. Moving over here to the shelves above my bed, I'll start right here. This is my golden pothos that I've had for quite a while. I got it as a pretty small plant, and it has since then grown quite a bit, which I really enjoy because it's a very low maintenance plant that grows quickly, so it's very enjoyable to have. This is a little orchid that I'm hoping is going to flower soon. Beside it, I'll actually get it down. This is a larger orchid that Wade got me, and it is currently flowering, which I think is absolutely stunning. I really hope it's still flowering at the time of the wedding so that I can have it there. I had it over on the shelf by my window, but you can notice a little bit of yellowing there. That's from it getting a bit too much sun, so I decided to move it over here. This plant right here is, it says it's a Jenny Monstera, but I looked it up and it's actually not a Monstera at all. Even though it looks like it is, they're not related to Monstera, but I can see how they get commonly confused for a Monstera because they do look pretty similar. This is a, I can't remember the exact name of it. It's something tetrasperma, but I will put the name on the screen. I got this one from the farmer's market, and it has another new leaf coming in, so it seems to be adjusting to being here pretty well. Over here I just have this really pretty trailing plant that I got as a cutting from my mom. I've had it for a while now and it's doing well. Right beside it I have another golden pothos that I got from my friend Janelle. And then right here is a Philodendron Mikins that is doing pretty well. It's growing pretty quickly. I would really like to get it onto a moss pole because when these leaves mature, I think they look really pretty. and the best way to mature a philodendron is to put it on a moss pole. And then lastly, on the other side of the bedroom is my stingray alocasia that I recently moved in here because I don't think it was doing too well. This is my Philodendron Sp Silver that has a new leaf coming out. Up there is Wade's Swartcott succulent and a little aloe plant. And then right beside it in the other window is a golden pothos. Okay, moving into the living room. This first one over here is a snake plant that belongs to my friend Christine. I forgot to include this one in the plant sitting video, but this one does belong to her. And then this one over here is just one of my larger snake plants. And then moving up here, I'm going to turn off the grow lights. That's much better. This is the pothos that I have been growing in a self-watering pot. If you want to know how I made that, I have a video of it a little further back, so go find that video. They've got some newer leaves, so that's a good sign. I think it's really enjoying the spot. Down here is a succulent that I overwatered and I'm trying to rehab. I have a couple little cactuses over here. This is my mom's pink princess philodendron that I am trying to rehab for her. I don't know the name of most of these cactuses, so if you do know the specific variety of any of these, please let me know. I know that this is a prickly pear cactus. And then right beside it is my Philodendron Brazil that's doing pretty well. This is a succulent that I've recently repotted and it is doing really well. I like it because it's very fuzzy, so I think that that's a little unique. So I think that that's pretty unique and I'm really happy that it's growing so well for me. Right here is the wide form Monstera Adansonii cutting that my mom gave me that I have growing in leca. This is a begonia cutting of some sort. I don't know the specific name of it, but I got it as a cutting from Joyce, and I really like the fuzzy petioles on it with the red spots. I think it's really neat. And then right here, I just have a pothos cutting that I am attempting to root in water. Okay, out here in my hallway, sorry if it's a little echoey, but I have Christine's plants. We have 3 really large fiddle leaf figs that are all doing pretty well. And then right here, I really wanted to show you guys this one, the snake plant, because if you look right here, it is getting ready to flower. So that's pretty great. I've never had a snake plant flower in my care, so I'm really excited to see what they look like. Alright, I really hope you guys enjoyed this plant tour. I did not include the plants that I have outside because it's just way too hot to go out there. But I do have a lavender plant that I'm growing out there and a couple different types of flowers. So after counting all the plants that I have a total of 101 plants that I am caring for right now. 12 of those belong to my friend Christine, but I am very happy to be taking care of all of those plants. I really enjoy it, and I hope that you guys enjoy watching me take care of them. I really enjoy making videos about them, so thank you guys for watching this one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!